The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody out there that's listening to my show tonight. All aboard. My name is Donald Whisman. Normally, I would have Les Skymo. He was scheduled to come on here tonight, but he had a family emergency. And but I'm lucky though. I have Jimmy Bell on here with me tonight. He's the producer of Armed Radio. Jimmy, thanks for doing a show with me tonight. I appreciate it,
pleasure.
Man. Well, you've always been a good friend to me, Jimmy, and I do appreciate you helping me out. But I guess I'll tell the world tonight, who's ever listening out there, that I am looking for a co-host for my show here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on All Aboard. So if you would like to be a co-host, get a hold of me through Facebook under Donald Whisman. That's Whisman. Look me up and let's talk. But anyway, as always, as before we get started here, I want to send my prayers out to all the men and women serving in our military. And I want to send a big thank you out to all our country's veterans. Job well done, you guys. And I guess our president is wrapping up a big speech down in Tampa, Florida, Jimmy, right now. Is he wrapping it up or is he still talking?
He's still talking.
I guess he's, Jimmy, I love that President Trump still does these rallies. I love it. It's like he's on the campaign trail.
Yeah, like I said, I get mesmerized listening to him. He tries to, different stories each time, but a lot of it's repeated. And
he's not boring, though, is he, Jimmy? He doesn't bore.
No, he ain't, because like I said, what he's talking about now is the latest current events, you know what I mean, and how the media is treating them and what they're saying.
Do you think, Jimmy, that our president does this because he can't get a fair shake with the mainstream media? So what he does, he goes out and has these rallies, and he tells the people himself with his own words what he's doing. And his tweets, I love his tweets. Some people hate his tweets. I love them. I love the rallies, Jimmy. I love them.
Well, Fox, they tape them live every time, whereas CNN don't even show up anymore.
Well, he always puts them down. Now, I'm sure he did tonight. He said, look at the news media out there. And, like he said it before, I think he was in Granite City, Illinois, the last one I watched here. I think it was last week at that U.S. Steel. He's got the steel mills rolling again in this country, Jimmy. And Jimmy, I don't know much about trade. I don't know much about the stock markets. Everybody was worried we was going to get in this big trade war with China. Well, I got news out there, everybody. We have been getting ripped off from China for years. And President Trump is the best man to have as president right now, because who better than a businessman to broker these deals and trade with the world? Donald Trump. He's the best guy you could pick right now. He's the best guy we could have right now. He is putting Americans first, Jimmy. I mean, these speeches he does. I mean, I listen to him. I don't listen to somebody coming back telling me their version of what he said. I would rather listen to Donald Trump myself. That's what I do. Now, I didn't get to listen to tonight, but I will watch the rerun later. But, man, the guy is just charismatic, and it's never a dull moment with President Trump, Jimmy. But, I don't know, you still with me, Jimmy? Or are you watching Trump?
I just came back. I made a drink.
Oh, that's fine. But, I was just talking about how, Trump isn't boring. I mean, and he keeps you interested. I mean, he's funny. He says funny things, and he'll go to being funny from being really, really serious. Jimmy? And he just tells you how it is.
He's the funniest president we've had, you know what I mean? Like, Ronald Reagan was funny, too.
Oh, he would get really mad sometimes, Reagan would. You remember when he says, who's paying for this, Mike? You remember that? Yeah, you probably do. I mean, you probably know
he's
more
the one
about
that
this.
said, we're going to begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, when you remember last week when President Trump was in Granite City, Illinois, that's the bird, that's Obama's home state there, but, he told them people, that, how it is. And America first, it's not a slogan, Jimmy. It's a way of life. That's what he said. And then you got these Democrats out here, Jimmy. I don't know what all the fuss is here lately, but it seems like the only thing they care about anymore, so they go from one extreme to the other. Now they want to get rid of ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement Agency. Now, Jimmy, what do you think would happen to this country if we got rid of ICE?
Yeah, I know. It would be overrun. I don't get these people. Why are they putting illegals over American citizens?
Oh, good point, Jim. I'm glad.
Now, we just had a judge in Massachusetts, a liberal judge, who let the guy was mixed up in robbery, attempted murder, and he let him out on bail on $1,000. It was $35,000, but this judge got it and he brought it down to $1,000 because he's poor, and he let him out. And he ended up killing the guy.
Well, you're right, Jimmy, and these liberals, right? Democrats,
they're illegals,
whatever you want to call it. But it seems like
this judge has a record of letting illegals go every time and putting the American citizens in the jail.
That's the thing. The laws seem like it don't apply to illegals, but when we do something, we go to jail. But it's okay for an illegal to come here and break the law. I mean, when you come in this country, you break the law. If you come here the wrong way. Now, Jimmy, listen, man, I was born here. You was born here. I don't know about your family, but on my mom's side and my dad's side, my roots in this country, they go back before the Revolutionary War. My forefathers, I mean, they've been in this country for a long time. I've got a lot of forefathers buried in, they've lived and died in this country. But, if somebody comes in here the right way, they're just as much as an American that I am, in my eyes. But if you come here the wrong way, Jimmy, to these liberals, the law's okay for you to break the law. We have laws in this country, Jimmy, and I hate to sound like I'm beating a dead horse every week. I hate to keep talking about it. But that's what they're doing, and that's why I do these things, Jimmy. I do this radio show. I just want to open people's eyes up to the madness and the sickness that's going on in this country with these liberals, Jimmy. It's got to stop. It's got to end somewhere, man. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to stop. I don't know what it's going to take to stop. And like me and you was talking about,
what it's going to take is another landslide in the midterm elections. Like you said, we need a conservative turnout. And I think with Trump doing all these rallies, he plans on doing it to like 29 senators or congressmen that are running. They're in, if he lands and he wants to push them over, and that's what he's been doing. And he plans on doing it right up to the election.
Well, he needs to, and I hope he does get a lot of these. I mean, I'm telling you, Jimmy, if we don't, and that's probably what he's trying to do, is get voter turnout up. I mean, we shouldn't just vote when a president runs. We should act like every year is a president running. Voting is something that, Jimmy, is patriotic, and it's so easy to vote, Jimmy. If you work third shift, first shift, second shift, there's times to vote. You can send in absentee ballot, but Jimmy, right here in the state of Ohio, and you probably keep up with politics more than me, but this past Saturday, had a lot happened to me this past Saturday. For the first, I got up early, and I had a chance. I went and I met with Republican candidate Mike DeWine. He got the nomination to run for governor here in Ohio. I met with him, and I put pictures out on Facebook, and I got some bad comments about Mike DeWine, but Jimmy, President Trump endorsed Mike DeWine, and this other guy that's his opponent, the Democratic, the socialist, Richard Cordray. Now, Jimmy, I'm telling these people, hey, listen, he is a Republican. I'm voting for Mike DeWine. I have to get behind Mike DeWine. I will try my best not to let a Democrat take over Ohio. We don't need it, Jimmy. What would you do if you was in my shoes right now? Would you back the Republican candidate of this state? Or would you just let people, go out here and vote for the Democratic candidate? I mean, what would you do, Jimmy? It's in your state.
I'm sitting here talking to you without holding the button down. I went to a whole conversation, and I thought you heard every word I'm saying.
No, I did. That's fine, though, Jimmy. It's live radio, brother. Things happen, man. It's live. But what was you saying? Go ahead.
I forget, what was the question?
We was talking about Mike DeWine running for governor. He got the nomination, the Republican nomination for Ohio. And
Right.
everybody's saying, oh, he's establishing all this and that. I have to get behind DeWine. Jimmy, if you lived here in Ohio, would you get behind Mike DeWine, or would you...
Absolutely.
You have to, Jimmy. I have to. I mean...
Yeah, exactly. You got to go with the...
Well, Jimmy, would you agree with me? Now, you don't have to agree with me, that the Conservative Party... They have better morals. They have better values than the Democratic Party does. Would you agree with me on that?
Just the fact that they're not socialists makes them a hell of a lot better than the Democratic Party.
That's
there is
it.
no Democratic Party. This is a progressive party.
Jimmy, you were saying something earlier, and I've heard people talk about this before. You said there may be another revolution or a civil war. I mean, what do you...
Yeah, like I said, the way they're going around and beating up Trump supporters, we were talking about people with, they'll take a hat, but half the time they hide it, or they won't put anything on their car with the Trump sticker or MAGA hat.
Right.
Because people are scared shitless, they'll break their car, smash it.
Well, we was passing out, I volunteered down at the Butler County Fair here in Ohio for the GOP tent, and we had Trump 2020 stickers. A lot of people took them, but a lot of them said, I'll keep this, but I won't put it on my car. It's like they're scared, Jimmy. They're afraid. They're going to vote for him, but they're afraid.
Well, that's it. The Antifa, just when a bunch of liberals get together, they're going in gangs now, and they're harassing people and Trump supporters. Like I said, they're going to pick the wrong crowd one of these days. They're just going to walk up to people and start beating them up, and they're going to pull out guns and blow them away. And that's when the revolution's going to start.
It could, Jimmy. I mean, it's just something like that could trigger something in this country. It could. I mean, it's gotten that bad, Jimmy. I hate to say it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I believe you. That's all it'll take.
I mean, they're that whacked out when they take illegal aliens over U.S. citizens. It makes no sense.
It is crazy, Jimmy. It's a disease, and they've been calling it Trump derangement syndrome. That's what they've been calling it, and it is a sickness. And I have never seen this country so divided. And Jimmy, I'm pushing 50 years old. We're living in a divided country, and Jimmy, America's not perfect. We've got a lot of bad people of our own in our own country. We don't need to add to that. We don't need their violence.
Well, I think they got a good taste of socialism with Obama for 8 years, and that's why they weren't going to vote for Hillary. There's just no way they wanted 8 years or even 4 years of that shit.
Well, how come the mainstream media, how come they never attacked Obama? I mean, some of them did, but
well,
not
they won't
like
because they got
Trump.
the same philosophy. You know what I mean? They got the same morals, the same outlook, and they're pushing their agenda.
So it's the owners of these networks that are telling the anchors what to say. I mean,
because the owners wanted a certain way, all his little minions are gonna. Oh yes, that's the way we want it too.
That's horrible, Jimmy. Did you hear about what's going on out in Portland, Oregon, with ICE? Did you hear about what's going on in Portland?
I know they were protesting or something.
They were protesting, but what's happened in the city of Portland, Oregon, is that I guess the mayor out there, the police will not respond if ICE calls them for backup. The police will not help ICE, and it's a shame. In Philadelphia, right in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, the mayor of Philadelphia said that the ICE agents couldn't even use their police database to look for these criminals. Jimmy, these sanctuary cities, I'm telling you, this is against the law. I don't know how these mayors are getting by with that. That's against our Constitution. That is illegal.
Jeff Sessions ain't doing nothing about it, that's for sure. This guy hasn't done nothing in almost 2 years.
It's pissing me off, Jimmy. Well, that's the only thing I can say.
I don't
right
hear
now.
peep out of him. Nothing. And of all the shit that's going down.
You're right, Jimmy. Why now? President Trump is very famous for saying you're fired. Do you think, come 2020 that he'll get rid of him and get somebody in there with a backbone?
Oh, absolutely.
He's got to, Jimmy. He's got to at this point. Everybody wants Hillary in prison. She's not going to go to prison with Jeff Sessions as Attorney General. She's not going to see a day in prison, Jimmy. But Listen, Jimmy, do you mind? I got a little clip here of Trump. You know, he's defending ICE. Do you mind if I play that here, Jimmy?
Go right ahead.
All right, let me get it set up here. It may take me 1 second. I should have had this already set up, but it's President Trump, and it's a video of him, and he's coming to the defense of ICE. And what he says
he just stopped his speech. He's just clapping and he's leaving the room now.
They're in Tampa. Man, I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
It is, because he had his kids with him, Ivanka and Eric.
Wow. I mean, he's got a great family. And another thing, Jimmy, I mean, I'm not a pervert or nothing. I'm a happily married man, but his wife, I think we've got one of the prettiest first ladies we've had
exactly
in history of this country. But, Jimmy, here's what I got of President Trump in defense of ICE. Okay, you ready? Here it goes. Ready to play it. Here it goes.
On September 11, 2001, America suffered the worst terrorist attacks in our history. The attacks were carried out by foreign nationals who exploited our lax immigration laws and defrauded our immigration system in order to murder nearly 3,000 innocent people. Following the attacks, Congress placed most immigration enforcement functions within a new agency known as the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, meaning ICE. One of the critical lessons of 9/11 is that immigration enforcement saves lives. We must enforce the rules against visa fraud, illegal overstay, illegal entry, and other immigration violations and crimes. And crimes they are. Believe me, crimes they are. These are the practices exploited by terrorists, drug dealers, child smugglers, human traffickers, gang members, and countless unknown and unregistered criminals to gain illicit access to our country and threaten our citizens. In fiscal year 2017 alone, ICE arrested more than 127,000 aliens charged or convicted of crimes inside of the United States. These were very serious crimes, and far too many of them. Yet leading Democrat politicians have called to abolish ICE. Nobody even believes it. They want to abolish ICE. In other words, they want open borders and more crime. And that's what you're going to get. You'll get more crime as you open up those borders. Last week, 167 Democrats in the House of Representatives refused to vote for a resolution to support the heroes of ICE. These are brave and great men and women. They're in the trenches every day, taking the fight straight to vicious gangs. They prey on our people. They hurt our people. They kill our people. Without the brave heroes of ICE, we would have no enforcement, no laws, no borders, and therefore we wouldn't even have a country. So to the courageous public servants at ICE, men and women, great ones, we want you to know that the American people are with you, and my administration has your back 100%. You are the heroes who protect the lives of our citizens, the safety of our communities, and the sovereignty of our great nation. We love you, we support you, and we always will stand with you. Thank you, and God bless America.
Right there, Jimmy. President Trump, ICE ain't going under anywhere under President Trump, Jimmy.
Say that again?
I said ICE, the ICE agency, they're not going to go anywhere as long as President Trump is in office.
I don't think you're going to get Democrats in to change it either. The public is not that stupid. Just because the media pushes it and now you got Democrats pushing it doesn't mean the people are going to go for it. They're just not. Wait till the next election.
It's madness, Jimmy. I mean, just think about 9/11, what happened. What could happen next, Jimmy? I don't want to give anybody any ideals, but one of these wackos, I don't, they don't have to come from Mexico, all right? There's people coming across that border down there from Muslim countries, from all kinds of countries, Jimmy, that hate Americans. I mean, what would happen? All it would take is one of them wackos to get in there, one of our big water supply systems, and poison our water. I don't want to give anybody any ideals, but they've already thought about this, Jimmy. I mean, one person, they could carry a dirty bomb come across that border. We have to have borders, Jimmy. We have to have
absolutely.
ICE. I mean, we can't give up. We can't relent. These people, they're nuts. And Jimmy, what's all this talk about these 3D printers and people making their own guns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess you can make the blueprints and then you can have it made out of plastic.
Plastic, and they've even got metal, them things, I don't know what you call them, that'll cut metal out, but don't our Second Amendment give us a right to bear arms? I mean, without infringement, though?
And the First Amendment, you get the freedom of speech, so they can't censor what, how to do it.
And it's a program, and a judge, I think it was today, they blocked them from giving that program out, selling the program. And Jimmy, they've been people's been making handmade guns for a long time. We just found a better way to do it. It's all people have. Technology.
Right. It's a better zip gun, because that's about it. You're only going to get one shot off with the plastic gun.
And another thing, there was I don't know what he was. He's a guy that's running against a congressman here in Ohio, a U.S. congressman. Went to my daughter's work today. Now, and she come home and she said who he was running against, which I met Saturday. I also met U.S. Congressman, I don't know if you've heard of him, Steve Shabbat. Now, he's a representative, congressman, whatever you want to call him. But see, people like Steve Shabbat, he's not on the news like Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, and Pocahontas, whatever her name is, Elizabeth Warren. I mean, he's just doing his job. He's a good congressman. But some of them people like I just mentioned, they're always on the news. I think Maxine Waters has lost her mind, Jimmy. I think she belongs in a psych ward, to be honest with you. I really do. And
she should. Mad Max.
Mad Max, you're absolutely right. And there was something I just want to tell you, Jimmy, before I move on. There was this cop. I think it was last week, maybe a couple weeks ago. He was fatally shot. Well, no, this is another story. This man, he was fatally shot at his home moments after he killed an intruder. I guess he killed somebody that was in his house, all right? He was defending himself. And I guess, I don't know the whole story, but the man should have actually laid his gun down. I don't know why he would run out or whatever he did when the police got there. It's a shame that this happened. But I don't know, did you hear about that, Jimmy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it says police fatally shot a man in his own home moments after he killed an intruder. I mean, the guy should have listened to his
these cops are all trigger happy. As soon as they see a gun, they start shooting.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't. They should have said, sir.
But if you're allowed to carry one, just because you see one, you don't kill them.
Right, because we have a right to carry them. That's the thing, Jimmy. Jimmy, what happened to this? I'm going to ask you something. What happened to the old saying, you are innocent until proven guilty? That's not the way it works anymore,
right, like I said, these cops think they're judge, jury, and executioner.
Well, they're not Judge Dredd. We haven't got to that point. You remember Judge Dredd, the movie? We're not there yet, man. And I'm getting, some cops do take advantage of their job. There's a lot of good ones out there, Jimmy, but there's a lot of bad ones.
There is a lot of bad ones.
Trust me. Every institution you have, organization, I don't care what, party, there's always bad things involved.
Well, corruption is more rampant in the police department than any other.
Well, I'll tell you what,
because they got more to lose, they got more to hide, and they got better ways of hiding it.
Better ways of hiding it. Well, that's the Democratic Party. It's just so corrupt, and just like Hillary selling uranium, her and Obama selling uranium to the Russians. And Jimmy, my own theory is, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe that they did sell uranium to Iran, and I believe Iran's probably got nuclear weapons.
That's who Russia gave it to, yeah.
Russia, and what about all that money we sent over right before Obama left office? What about those 2 plane loads of money that we sent to Iran, Jimmy? We're not supposed to, the United States, we don't negotiate for hostages. What happened in Obama?
Yeah, I know. Obama does.
Oh, Obama does.
$1.8 billion.
Well, it took 2 planes, Jimmy, of money.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, and for 3 hostages.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to negotiate for hostages.
Exactly.
Our country doesn't. Now, Jimmy, listen, man. You know yourself. You're older than me. America, was since I think World War One, we were supposed to have a big enough army to fight 2 wars. Under the Obama administration, I said this last week with Les, I don't think under the Obama administration we couldn't have fought a major war while he was president. We better thank God that President Trump is in there building our military.
He got the defense money.
Now, Jimmy, what's this story going on where Trump's saying that he's going to shut the government down if he doesn't get more money to build the wall?
The border wall, yeah. If they're gonna, I don't blame him. It's about time. We need border security. We need immigration laws that actually work.
I say shut it down.
Shut it all down.
Let the Democrats take. It's their fault. They're not wanting to work with our president.
I think any illegal that's found here should be automatically deported. It's just gotten that bad.
Well, Jimmy, here's a story right here. Here's just what you're talking about. This illegal alien, he was deported 5 times from the U.S. Then he was sentenced for a 3rd DUI. He came back in the country after being deported 5 times. Then he got pulled over for DUI. I mean, for the 3rd time after he came back. Now, come on, Jimmy. We don't need people like they keep coming back. We gotta have the wall. That's the only thing going to stop these people from crossing that border. What part of that don't they understand?
I told you there was somebody in Massachusetts that died from an illegal. He ended up killing him under a DUI. Now, the guy served 2 terms in Afghanistan. He came back. He says they didn't kill him. ISIS didn't kill him. IEDs didn't kill him. And this fucking moron in the car, shitface, that's been, he's, like I said, out on bail for armed robbery, masked robbery.
You know what? I may have that story here somewhere, Jimmy.
Like I said, the guy, his wife, he just got done visiting his wife and the brand new baby. That's his first one. He was proud to be a father. He drove home that night and died.
All right, here's
all because of an illegal alien, a judge letting him go.
Well, here, maybe this, I don't know if this is the same story, Jimmy. I'm going to open this up here. It'll only take a second for it to open up. But it says right here, Florida officer dies a week after being shot by an illegal alien. Is that the one, or is this a different story?
No, that's in Florida. The one I'm talking about is in Mass.
Well, this is Fort Myers, Florida. It says, Fort Myers police officer Adam Jobbers Miller died Saturday after at Lee Memorial Hospital. The officer was shot in the head 1 week ago during a reported disturbance at a Marathon gas station on a place called Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And then, let me see, it goes on to say that he was killed by an illegal alien, Jimmy. A police officer killed by an illegal alien. I mean, they're not only over here DUI and driving drunk, killing people, they're killing cops, Jimmy.
Diddling
they're killing
kids,
police.
Raping, they're doing all kinds of shit.
Hey, Jimmy, we've got enough bad people in our own country.
Wrong. That are citizens. Never mind these non-citizens killing Americans.
You said it. You said it. Citizens. We've got bad citizens we have to take care of. We can't. Jimmy, they're destroying our economy. They're destroying our freaking economy.
Our communities.
Is it over votes? Is it just because they're so greedy, Jimmy, they want votes?
Look, California wants to succeed just because of illegals. You got New York de Blasio turning the whole goddamn state upside down for illegals.
It's sickening, Jimmy. It is really
It is. Like
sickening.
I said, the people ain't going to put up with this. Like I said, them are not Democrats.
Well, even Facebook, Jimmy. Facebook, they're shutting down conservative sites and pages for good.
Absolutely.
What is that? InfoWars, Alex
You know,
Jones?
Facebook interfered with our elections a lot more than Russia did. Russia wrote a few fucking blogs. You know what I mean? Facebook was censoring.
Oh, and another thing that interfered with our elections, but you won't hear from the Democrats, Jimmy. What about all the illegal aliens that voted in our elections? Tell me that's not meddling, Jimmy?
Yeah, I know,
meddling.
exactly.
But it's okay. It's okay, you know, with the Democrats. That's okay. Everything's okay. You know, as long as it's an illegal, you're fine. You can break our laws. But heaven forbid if a citizen actually breaks our laws, we have to pay the penalty, Jimmy. But it's okay for illegals to break our laws, and I think we've pretty much stated our case on that. But Trump gets no credit, just like him meeting with Kim Jong-un. No news. That maybe Fox might have gave him a little credit. Fox News. I know you watch Fox News, Jimmy.
Yeah, they did. That's about all. Like I said, nobody else did. Everybody else, he did nothing. This is what he should have done. He did a bad deal.
Well, he got some American soldiers' remains home, and I think just by talking to him, and Jimmy, I'm getting a call. Let's take this one call here and see what's up. Thanks for calling all aboard. This is Donald Whisman. Can I get your name and what state you're calling from, please?
Yes, it's Carol O'Neill from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Carol from Philadelphia. Carol, I know you got something on your mind. What's going on in Philly that I think I know, but go ahead. Let's hear it, Carol.
Sanctuary cities.
All right.
And our sweet mayor.
What was his name? What's your mayor's name there in Philadelphia?
Mayor Kenny.
Yes, I think it's Jim Kenny, isn't it?
Yes.
Now tell everybody out there listening on radio what's going on there. Carol, you live there in Philadelphia. What's going on there? What's actually happening in the streets of Philadelphia?
Well, it's not exactly in the streets. What they're doing is the Muslims in Philadelphia are buying up all the churches. There's a lot of churches that are for sale, and they're buying them up. They're overpaying for them. There's one not 5 miles away from me. I just found out today that they paid $2 million for.
Wow.
A small church right outside my house, they paid $1.5 million.
Now, Carol, you when you bought your house, that was a church or an old church, right? And the Muslims bought that church and turned it into a mosque, right?
We bought our house in 1984, and it was St. Luke's Church.
Now, it was
an Episcopal.
I'm sorry, Carol, but I've got Jimmy.
Church.
Jimmy's on here. He can hear you, but you can't hear him, but he can hear you. Tell Jimmy and the world what goes on at this mosque, what you have to live with every day, Carol.
Well,
not every day, but...
Right, it's not every day, but they have a lot of holidays that they honor. It's ridiculous. I have my whole house lights up with the lights that they have out there to light the whole outside, because the people have to stand in a small field, and they have to stand because there's so many while they pray with a microphone and a bullhorn and these lights. And this is a residential area.
Now, Carol, we've talked about this, and we've discussed the First Amendment that gives people a right to practice religion. We know that. But what I'm mad about is where you live. I don't think an American citizen that doesn't believe in that doesn't believe in Islam, you should not have to hear that stuff coming onto your property, Carol, as an American.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There's nothing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's nothing the residents can do. Nothing. We have a non-emergency 311 neighborhood call center that we can call if we have a complaint, noise, trash, anything like that. I called about this place. I said there has to be an occupancy permit for this place. It's a very small one-story church, a chapel.
Well, you think fire code.
They bought the church without an occupancy permit, so they can have as many people as they want in there.
Well, you said it's a sanctuary city, and didn't you say you seen the mayor out there dancing at one of their carnivals?
Yeah, he wasn't dancing. He attended. He doesn't attend any carnivals, but he was there with his bodyguard.
Wow.
It's a small church, but it's so overcrowded, and it's advertised as a Muslim youth center, and there are never children over there, only with their parents.
Wow.
There are hundreds of adults praying. You never hardly see any children there.
Yeah, but
center.
If you and your husband are like on your front porch trying to enjoy an evening and one of their nights of prayer, do you guys have to hear that prayer on your own front porch?
Yes.
See,
their church is right outside my kitchen window.
See, that violates your rights. To me, that violates your rights as an American citizen that doesn't practice Islam. That should have been kept indoors. You shouldn't have to hear that, Carol.
The non-emergency number said they have no hours of operation down on their deed. They have no occupancy down on their deed. If you call the police, they do not come.
Well, it's a big issue.
Seems like
Donald.
they can do anything they want, but
Yeah,
yet if I did that, if I had a barbecue with speakers out there, oh, forget it. I'd have the police at my home immediately.
Oh, there's noise ordinances where I live. At 10 o'clock, you have to shut everything down or you'll get
That's at
cited.
nighttime, not during the
Nighttime.
day.
For some
What was you
reason,
gonna
Mayor Kenny is protecting these people because they do anything they want.
Okay, Carol, Jimmy's going to ask me something. Jimmy, do you want me to ask Carol something?
Yeah, I got a feeling they're trying to drive her out so that they could buy the house around the mosque. They're going to want to have all the houses around the mosque.
Oh, well, Carol, Jimmy, you can't hear Jimmy, but Jimmy said what he's thinking is they're trying to buy you out, buy the neighborhood out so they can have...
Drive them out.
Drive them out. They're trying to drive you guys out of there. What do you think, Carol?
Exactly. We already have one family that
He's right,
lives on
Jimmy.
our street that are rude, ignorant, obnoxious. If you go with a complaint about their children roaming the neighborhood and doing anything they want, coming on your property, destroying your property, attacking your pet, throwing rocks at our pet. You know what they tell you? Where we come from, and I told them, you're not there now. You're in America.
They're in America, Carol. That's right. We got laws here in America, but it doesn't seem like...
They want us to follow their rules. We are scum to them.
No
matter what.
You know what, Carol? I am so glad you called in. I mean, you witnessed this firsthand. Me and Jimmy, we're not witnesses. All we hear is stories.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? It's enough to make you... take everything we're glad people are not focusing on the sanctuary cities. They need to do that.
Well, I know Jimmy hates it.
Focusing on other political things, sanctuary cities are sliding under they're just popping up.
Well, Carol, we was just talking about Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General. He is not doing his job as Attorney General in this country, and that's what me and Jimmy was talking about. He should be stopping these sanctuary cities. That's unconstitutional, what's going on.
The mayor came out, the judge ruled against Trump. The mayor came out. There's a video of him doing the Irish jig. He was so happy. He was dancing right outside the judge's chambers.
I take it your mayor is not a Trump supporter.
No, we're Pennsylvania's Democrat. And you know what?
Well, you guys went red.
Won Pennsylvania, and he's going to win again.
Oh, yes. Carol, before you get off here, will you tell Jimmy and the world about the video that you've seen on Facebook? Now, I get suspended on Facebook, but tell everybody a little bit really quick about the video about the mom with the Muslim child and the animal.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. They have videos on Facebook, and they're black. They're blacked out, and they say, this may be offensive, but if you want to watch it, touch. So I touched. Oh, my gosh. There's this goat, a baby goat, that this 10-year-old boy is laying on top of, and he's doing a sex act with. And you can hear the one that's taping him is a woman telling him, do it faster. And he started humping this goat faster. The goat is baying all over the place. And then finally the kid is looking at the camera smiling. And the woman said, okay, that's enough. You can get up now.
That's
and the
sick.
kid got up smiling at the camera, and the goat ran off.
That's sick. But you know what?
I wouldn't even share that.
No, Facebook should ban that, but they'll ban somebody like me getting on here supporting President Trump. I get banned for 30 days, but that Muslim stuff, it's allowed on Facebook, I guess. But Carol, thank you.
I heard tonight on Facebook that they couldn't get a hold of Deplorable Deb because she's in Facebook jail again.
Well, they're cutting. Me and Jimmy just mentioned that a while ago. Facebook, they're starting to ban all conservative sites, pages, groups. Eventually, we won't even have a group. And by the way, I do have a group. It's called Trump 2020 exclamation point. If anybody wants to join, we do try to keep the trolls out. But as what I'm hearing, we won't make it long with Zuckerberg. He's going to get rid of all of us, and it's a shame. But Carol, thank you for the story. You're right. The sanctuary cities need to be a priority. Maybe if Trump gets another attorney general, maybe we can get something done, Carol.
I posted pictures about the carnival they had over there. We were never even notified. I woke up and I had a blow jumpy thing looking right at my kitchen window.
Wow.
I said, are you kidding me?
Wow. And she has to live like this, Jimmy.
And the mayor was out there. I couldn't believe it with his bodyguards at a Muslim carnival.
At a Muslim carnival. Well, that's it. I mean, they don't care about us anymore, Carol. These Democrat socialists, they're socialists. They're not even Democrats. They don't care about American people anymore. They care more about these foreigners and illegals than they do us, Carol. I'm serious.
Well, I'm letting everybody know in your community, if you see a church that is closing, that's what they're going for.
Well, it ain't going to happen around here.
The cross is off the top, and the crescent moon is on the top of the church.
The crescent moon, that's sick. I don't want no part of it, Carol, but you know what? I want to thank you for calling in, Carol. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And go back. I don't know if you're listening to the show or listen to the replay tomorrow. I'll put it, Jimmy will give it to me, and I'll put the recording on my page tomorrow.
Yeah, but I did call in to stress the sanctuary city.
And I appreciate you calling.
People have no clue.
Well, you're living it. You're living proof, Carol. All me and Jimmy does, we hear it on the news or we read about it. We're not living. I don't think you don't live in a sanctuary city, do you, Jimmy?
No, it's not a sanctuary, but I do live with, I believe they're Pakistanis. They got 3 families and 3 different trailers.
He said it's not a sanctuary city where he lives, but there's a lot of Pakistanians that live around him, Carol.
Oh, well, it's coming to a neighborhood near you. Just look at Europe.
Coming to a neighborhood near you. Look at Europe. You're right, Carol. You're absolutely right. And if we can stop this, President Trump needs to stop it, but he needs an attorney general with a backbone.
And whatever you do, do not give up that gun.
Don't give it. No, I'm not giving up my guns. Carol, you are a true patriot, and thank you for calling in this show. All aboard. Thank you so much, Carol. Anything else you want to say before you get off? Anything else?
Well, no, that's about it. That's it.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later on Facebook, Carol. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good night, guys.
All right. Bye. Jimmy says bye. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Jimmy. What do you think about that? She lives in Philly. She's the lady I was telling everybody about that lives next to this mosque. They bought a church, and that's what they do, Jimmy. They come in. They're like, I don't know. They take over like weeds. You know what I mean, Jimmy?
It's like a cancer.
It is a cancer.
And they don't assimilate. This is not how the immigrants came in the past history. All right, they didn't come in to start their own country, their own religion. They wanted to be American. They spoke the language. They worked on jobs. You know what I mean? If they had a different religion, they didn't usually follow it.
Jimmy, let me ask you a question. Like I said, you are a little older than me. When our founding fathers, I just want your opinion, when they wrote that amendment about freedom of religion, do you think if they knew now, if they knew what was going to happen in the future of these Muslims come in, that, I mean, religion's one thing, but this religion, if you're not one of them, you're an infidel, Jimmy, and that means they hate you. They want to kill you, Jimmy. It does not, Sharia law, Muslims, Islam, none of that goes along with the Constitution of the United States. It don't mix, Jimmy. You can't mix the two. I mean, why did our founding fathers allow this to happen? I wish they would have been more clear in that First Amendment about that. Just a little more clear, Jimmy. I mean, what do you think?
Right. Well, when they come up with it, there was no Arabs living in America. You know what I mean?
So they didn't think about this Islam problem.
No, their religion. No, because they said, why would they come here with all the infidels? They didn't think they'd ever step foot in the U.S.
Well, you know what, though? Do you think... I'm getting another call, Jimmy. You want me to take it?
Sure.
All right. Let's see who's calling in. Thanks for calling all aboard. This is Donald Whisman. Can I get your first name and what state you're calling from?
Chris out of Louisiana.
Hey, Chris, what's on your mind tonight, buddy?
Hey, man, I just want to hit on what the lady's saying about the churches. We had one closed down here about 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. If that happens down here in Louisiana, where I live at.
Well, you're down in Louisiana. I don't know, though. They're like Jimmy said, they're like a cancer, Chris. I mean, they're trying to take over this nation, and that's their goal, ain't it, Jimmy? What do you think? Yeah, that's what they're wanting to do, Chris. They want to take our country from us.
I know. Like I said, we had a church that closed down here about a couple weeks ago, and they're not doing nothing with it right now. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye on this church.
Keep your eye on it. Watch out for people wearing them rags, them towels on their head. You see them looking around. Yeah. You better start contacting the neighbors and get them out of there.
I'm going. Oh well, I'm going. You know, I'm gonna do that. And another thing about the police officers not helping them people down there where she lives at. I think that's a bunch of shit there.
Yes.
Excuse the language, but it is.
Well, it is a bunch of crap, and I'm sure Jimmy's on here. He would agree with you. That's just what we was talking about. Jimmy agrees with you, Chris, but finish listening to the show, and I think me and Jimmy's got about 10 minutes left, and we'll finish this up. But thanks, Chris. I appreciate you calling, buddy.
All right, man.
All
Later.
Right. See you, buddy.
Take care.
All right, Jimmy, it does seem like there is a problem with Muslims in this country. I think people are more concerned with the Muslims, and you had a good point, Jimmy, before Chris called. You was talking about, like, when people used to come here, they wanted to be American. They wanted to assimilate to our ways. But that's not the case anymore, is it, Jimmy? They don't want to become American. I mean, they don't.
No, you got illegals that have been here 20 years, and they still can't speak the language.
Oh, what about the catch and release program? I mean, come on, this was one of Obama's deals, catch and release. Really? Catch and release? You're catching a criminal, and you're going to turn him right back on American streets to kill our police, have sex, or, abuse our kids. There's a lot of pedophiles, Jimmy, coming across that border. You know there is. More than pedophiles. They're sickos, Jimmy. Human traffickers, sex traffickers, drug dealers. That MS-13 gang. We have to get stricter, Jimmy. We've got to.
Right, we need a wall. To stop the dirty bombs, everybody, just to stop people from coming in.
So, but why is he being he calls them obstructionists? Democrats are obstructionists. They're trying to stop him from building this wall to protect us, the American people. And the Democrats,
they don't give a shit about American citizens.
So what about themselves now? It won't happen in their neighborhood, though, would it? They don't want them in their neighborhood, do they, Jimmy? Them little gated neighborhoods, or do they? I don't know what's going on. I mean...
No, they don't, because they're all high-crime areas.
They live in there. You got it, brother. And just like Chris said, a church went empty. So you think that's what they're doing? They're just buying up churches and trying to get people to assimilate to their culture? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Now, you know what? People back, I don't know. You remember Muhammad Ali, right? The boxer?
Yeah.
And people love this man. But it seemed, he was Muslim. He converted to Islam. You know that, Jimmy.
Yeah, he did.
And he did dodge the draft. He was a draft dodger. You know that, Jimmy. But people loved Muhammad Ali.
He wasn't a dodge drafter. That means you left the country. He'd rather go to jail than go to war.
Conscientious. What do you read?
Conscientious objector.
It was against his religion as a Muslim, right? Is that what?
No, he got Muslim when he went in jail.
Oh, when he went to jail. So but this thing went on though. He didn't go when he got drafted, right? I mean, with Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And didn't he lose his boxing license and all that because of that too?
Yeah.
But back in them days, though, Jimmy, I don't think the Muslim problem was that bad until 9/11. That's when people started waking up with Muslims, wasn't it?
Right.
So,
I said, I knew about it because in the 80s I was in jail and they had the Nation of Islam, which is Muslims, all the blacks, and all you could hear them yelling and screaming was "Kill Whitey, kill Whitey,
kill Whitey." Wow.
Nice Jimmy, religion. That's what I mean. Something like that's not a religion.
No, Jimmy, that's more of a hate group. That's more of a...
That's what I mean. Religion's got nothing to do with hate. It's supposed to be to progress your fucking people and make it life better.
So Jimmy, you said back in the 80s, did you see this problem coming in the 80s? Did you see that? Did you
No, I just know the black Muslims, but that's been around for, a long time. Malcolm X, he was Nation of Islam.
Farrakhan, yes. And, well, President Obama had Farrakhan, I believe, at the White House.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He went to Muslim. That's what his faith was.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? People like that. I don't know, Jimmy. I didn't see this song
He switched lipstick just so he could get into public office. He became Catholic.
That's a good word, switch lipstick. Anyway, Jimmy, I'm reverbing a little bit, but I don't know, Jimmy. I had so much I wanted to talk about tonight. We're running out of time. We still got about a few minutes left, but Jimmy, I don't know if you know this. I love history, and I know you watch a lot of TV, but you remember Amelia Earhart, right? You remember her?
Yeah.
They closed the case after all these years. Did you know
they found the plane, I heard.
Yeah, and it was like a couple thousand miles off the island of Hawaii, but they said that she did land that plane, Jimmy, and she did live. She was transmitting after she landed, crash landed. So
right.
I guess they found some remains, and they said they're pretty sure when the DNA results come back, it's going to be Amelia Earhart's. But all them years, Jimmy, the case is closed. They found her. It's over.
Wow.
Just wanted to bring that up, and something else I want to talk with you tonight about, Jimmy, before we get off here. I'm sure you've heard of the super volcano out there in Yellowstone Park, right? Well, Jimmy,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to scare everybody. I don't want people to panic. But when that thing blows, and I'm saying when, because it ain't if, it's going to blow, Jimmy. And let's just hope it ain't soon, but it's been acting up lately, Jimmy. I've been reading a lot of stuff about that thing acting up. And when that thing does blow, it's called a super volcano. And when that thing blows, it's going to kill thousands of people within so many 100-mile radius because that thing is so big. But what's going to happen, Jimmy, is all that ash from that super volcano is going to get up in the atmosphere, and it's going to block the sunlight. All plant life on Earth will cease to exist. Now, people say, well, I can eat meat. Well, most of your cow, they eat plants, Jimmy, or grain.
Right, right. If you kill the plants, you kill the cycle.
Well, the cycle, there you go. And plus, what does the plants do? We give them carbon monoxide, they give us oxygen. And Jimmy, I don't know, stuff like that, it spooks me, man. It really does. And people, I know they're not worried about it, but what can we do, though? What can we do? There's nothing we can do. It's happened before. This Earth it's been destroyed before by these things, asteroids, super volcanoes. They know it's going to blow, Jimmy, and that's really, we sit around every day with our little lives, and we sit and talk about what's going on, but people's not really worried about the big picture, Jimmy? We do. We sit around and we worry about little things, and we should be worrying about the big things, but I don't guess there's anything we can do to, defend ourselves against that. What can we do as man to stop that thing from blowing? I don't know. Do you? Do you have any idea whatever we can do? But anyway.
What's that?
To stop something like that volcano. There's nothing that man can do. And there's
best we could do is get equipped with some kind of generator.
Underground
with
bunker.
A lot of gas in a building where you could make our own lights and grow.
Yes, Jimmy, grow lights. Generators.
You wouldn't have 7 billion people on the planet. It'd only be a couple 100,000 tops.
Well, you know what? Even if the world did end like that, I think there would be survivors, Jimmy. There's always going to be some survivors, and the Earth will clean itself off eventually, Jimy.
Right, but like I said, that'll block the sunlight all around the Earth, not just in one spot.
Oh yeah, the whole Earth.
Yes, the whole Earth's going to die.
So you don't think there'd be any survivors? I hate to even talk about this.
Were there any survivors with the dinosaurs?
You know what? No, I don't think there was. I think
absolutely wasn't.
You know, but when you hear the preachers talk, it never happened. But we know dinosaurs existed on this earth, Jimmy. And
right.
This is a political show. I went way off topic, but think about it though. I mean, I'm not saying anything against Christianity. I believe in God, Jimmy. For one, I do believe in God. But no preachers want to talk about the dinosaurs. They were here. We have found their bones. Where did they go? I mean, did God kill the dinosaurs, then put man here? I don't know these.
I know. Is this before God?
Yes.
God started out with dinosaurs and then wiped the chalkboard clean so we could start over.
Exactly, but I mean, I think in Genesis it said God created the world in 7 days, and I think He created man. You know, Adam and Eve.
See, I don't buy any of that shit. That was written by man for man, so nobody knows.
But
man
we do know dinosaurs.
How long.
We know dinosaurs was here, though, don't we? We do know they existed on this planet. So
yeah, we do. We got bones to prove it.
We got the bones to prove it. And they were here, you know, dinosaurs was here millions and millions of years. You've seen the old movies where caveman was with dinosaur? No. Man never existed with dinosaurs. Maybe
no,
with
they never did.
Yeah, maybe with the mammoths, you know, later on in some other era. But back in the Jurassic era, man, millions of years after dinosaurs disappeared, that's when man came along. So we never existed with them. So I don't know where we fit in, Jimmy. I'm confused sometimes. I get confused, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it's been a good show, Jimmy. I mean, we're at 8:58 right now.
Yeah, we got about a minute left.
Hillary Clinton, she's been out. She's been donating maximum money to every candidate. I think maximum donation's like $5,000. She's been spending a lot of money trying to get these Democrats elected in the midterm elections, brother. I know that Michelle Obama, she's been out here working her butt off trying to help get everybody elected, you know, Democrats. But
where in Ohio?
All over the country. Michelle Obama, she's got this big thing going on trying to get people registered to vote, these liberals, you know what I'm saying? So watch out for Michelle. They're all up
the only thing they got is illegals and college kids. And even not all college kids. Like I said, they're not all brain dead.
Jimmy,
most of them are.
I'll let you end the show with this, but what does the Democrats even stand on? What is their platform?
They don't have one. They don't have a fresh face except for that Ocasio-Cortez, and she wants socialism.
No, they're not going to take
and tax the shit out of everybody.
Tax the crap out of it. You can't tax the rich, though. That's what gives jobs to the poor, Jimmy. But
right, and she's going to screw up the whole cycle. She doesn't know it. Well, she's too stupid to know it because that's how she was taught.
A lot of them are very stupid, Jimmy. They are.
All right, we're going overtime here. We got to go.
All right. Thanks, Jimmy. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.